Hey folks, thanks for watching. My name is Gerard. This is Gerard's Horticulture Culture, and I want to tell you about my visit to the doctors. Keep watching. So let me tell you about my visit to the doctor's office recently. I went to the doctor's and thought everything was cool. She said, your weight's okay, your breathing's okay. So far we can see everything's good, but you haven't taken a blood test yet. So let's sign you up for a blood test and get some blood drawn and see how your blood works, just to make sure there's nothing that we need to know about ahead of time. So we went to do that, and usually I remember back in the day when my mom was around, they used to have to strap me into like a chair to get blood drawn because I hate needles, I hate pain. So it's been a little rough for me the past 10 years, but I've been okay with getting blood drawn, and I just don't even look when she's poking the needle, or he or she's poking the needle in my arm. But that's what really happened. I think I was a little too stressed out when I had like this recent blood test, like, because basically the lady that was taking it says your vessels, blood, your veins, whatever she was poking was pushing the needle out, and she said, "Are you okay? Are you kind of stressed out?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a little stressed. I don't like needles." He says, "Well, you better calm down because you're pushing the needle out, and we'll have to poke you again." And then I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to get poked again." And let me just think about plants. So I was thinking about plants, and I think she was done, and I saw like how much blood she took out of me, and I'm like, oh my god, that's something for the book. So continued on my day, left there, had the little bandage on my arm, and felt like I got something accomplished. It was going on throughout the day, and then I actually went home to have breakfast because the doctor actually ordered me to have a fasting blood test, so I couldn't eat like a certain amount of time before I had the blood test. So I had the blood test real early in the morning. So whatever I ate at night, I had to just not, eat anything within, I think it was 12 to 8 hours. I forgot what that was. So following day Monday comes around and get a phone call saying, Gerard, we want to talk to you because something's going on with your tests. So I'm like, all right. And it was a message, and I didn't pick up, but it was a message. Then my fiance over there chimes in and says, yeah, when they want to talk to you, something ain't right. And I'm like, what could be wrong with Gerard over here? What could she want to talk to me about? Because I'm semi-active. I'm semi-health conscious. Like I said, I try to take care of myself, but I usually take care of my plants better than I do myself. So I'm saying, what could be going on? What could be going on? So next course of action, I said, well, we both thought about it. Let's check the results online just to see what she's talking about. So we type up online and we pull up the results, and lo and behold, my blood pressure was sky high, sky high. My cholesterol, something, LDH, something was high, and everything was high. And then my liver function, something like my white blood cells were low. And I'm like, why is my white blood cells low? And I think that was about it for what. Oh, my sugar was super high too. My sugar was super high. So I'm like, what's going on? What's going on with that? And I immediately went to my friend, Google, the internet, and I asked Google, what's this? And why is, like, I did like LD, I can't remember what's the name, but it said LDH or something like that. Something that related to high blood pressure and the sugar and everything like that. I was just researching each one. And they all kind of tied towards my liver. And also my vitamin D was super low. So I'm like, whoa, why is my vitamin D super low, and where do I usually get that at? Because I don't usually, vitamin C's usually come from oranges and stuff like that. But I try to, like I said, I try to eat okay, and I don't really, I didn't consider myself a dieter or anything like that. I was just eating steak like 2 weeks ago and French fries. Like I said, I'm bad sometimes, but then again, I try to incorporate some salads, some fruits, things like that, nuts, berries, every so often. A little bit, just a little bit. So, I was Googling Google, and Google was like, yeah, you need vitamin D. So I said, how do I get some vitamin D? I went to actually a Walgreens and I picked up a bottle of vitamin D, and I was like, let me just take this vitamin D just so I could be proactive before I go talk to my doctor, which I made the next appointment to see her to discuss the results like a day after. Well, I think I went to go see her Tuesday and actually did the results Saturday morning. So, like I said, my Saturday was kind of relaxing because I didn't know what to expect from the doctor. But I was making breakfast. I remember I was making breakfast with my kids. I was feeding them breakfast. We were all eating together. And I was listening to NPR. I usually listen to NPR because the discussions on NPR are kind of neutral and they're, kind of relaxing. I like the way they talk. It's just something that soothes me a little bit. So I was listening to NPR, and they had, as soon as I turned on, they're talking about sugar and the effects of sugar. And I'm like, okay, we can talk about that. Yeah, I would like to know about sugar. And then they were talking about something, fatty liver. Like, they said something that along the lines of fatty liver or sugar does the same thing that alcohol does to your liver. Let me say that again. They said something about sugar or excessive amount of sugar doing the same thing that alcohol does to your liver at the same time. So when you're drinking a soda, this guy got really graphic, and I'll put the link in the description below of the interview so you can kind of relate to what I'm saying and take what information that you got from this article or news presentation for your own self. So yeah, they said something, well, really caught me. Let me backtrack. What really caught me was like when the guy said something about drinking a bottle of soda and what it does, like how your liver reacts to after you drink soda. Like it builds like a film around it, and I'm like, what? It builds a film around it, and it's like a fat. It's fat. All this fat goes around your liver, and it blocks your insulin resistance. And I'm like, what's? I know it's insulin. People put insulin inside of them, but I'm like, so when you drink soda, your liver just coats itself with a fat that blocks it from all the, I don't know, from everything that's supposed to be happening. Just puts out a black, like a fat thing, like a whole bunch of fat around it. And now I was in tune with what they were saying, but then I'm looking at my kids because I'm giving them sugar, I'm giving them waffles. Well, I was making pancakes with syrup. I usually give them the syrup with that, like the no high fructose corn syrup. But I'm looking at them, and I'm listening to this guy. I'm like, I'm just giving these guys a bunch of sugar right now, and I'm actually literally handing them a shot of vodka because of all the sugar that I'm giving them in the morning. And I'm like, what type of parent am I? And I'm like, what are they talking about? And then they were talking about regulating sugar and how hard it would be to regulate sugar, and the lobbyists that work for the sugar companies, you know, that would be impossible to regulate. And then they were talking about fatty liver disease and how rampant it's running across America. So with all that said, I'm like, just went to the doctor's. She's got a blood test and she's talking about my liver. And now I'm listening to NPR and they're talking about liver. So maybe I got like fatty liver disease. And she said maybe the guy was like, if you got like a belly bulge. And I kind of got like a belly. Kind of got like a belly. Let me suck it back in. But I kind of got a belly. So it says, yeah, once you're, you know, with lack of exercise and the sugar intake along with carbohydrates that turn into sugar, and then like the sugar that you're already taking throughout the day, it's all sugar that's just overwhelming your liver and causing this fat to build up around your liver, which leads to all types of things like diabetes, obesity, cancer, and I guess a bunch of other things. But those are the three things that stuck out to me. So I'm listening and like I'm sweating bullets right now. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm taking the time to appreciate, you know, all this information that's going to me. So I have to utilize this information and direct it towards my own self. Like if I had like aphids on a plant, like I wouldn't let the aphids stay. So I would definitely attack those aphids. So how can I attack this situation that may be happening to me as far as like a fatty liver? But once again, they were talking how many people are being, you know, affected by the amount of sugar that they're getting or they're consuming with a lack of exercise. And they were just going over everything, and I was like really getting lightheaded of all the phrases and statistics and studies that they were talking about a fatty liver. So hopefully, you know, this helps you out. That's why I wanted to put this on here, and I was kind of didn't know how I was going to present this to you guys. But yeah, fatty liver disease is a thing. And I was lucky enough to catch that NPR radio station. I said, well, this 2 and 2 thing, well, you know, I got the results. I haven't seen my doctor yet, but now I got NPR, you know, hitting me in the head with all this information. So this means something. So I started to get a little bit uneasy. I said, let's kick into gear. This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. Let's figure something out. So I started to Google plants that would help with fatty liver and to promote liver, you know, promote your liver and better liver function. And then also it's like, you know, I gotta start, you know, running. I gotta start exercising, because I rarely, you know, every so often I might, you know, play a basketball game half court, or, you know, I might go on a walk, but I wasn't like consistently routine, you know, working out. So I had to do that. So I started to, you know, I signed up for my gym, local gym, and I started to go to the gym a little bit more. Because like I'm freaking out. I'm trying to stay cool, but I'm freaking out on the inside, saying like I got a fatty liver and my liver is just suffering, and I feel bad for my liver. So I gotta get myself, you know, I gotta check myself before I wreck myself. So next point I want to say is that, this is still related to plants, because like I said, I researched a couple things, and a couple things came up as far as what plants or plant properties you can take before you take the over-counter pills and things that you really are get hooked on for the rest of your life when you have high blood pressure or, you know, a bad liver or fatty liver or something like that. So I researched what I could take right now, and two things came up. Well, actually three. One, I wanted to stress berberine. Berberine is a part of a root that's, I believe it's in turmeric and a couple other rhizomes, a part of plants that you can take to allow your liver to free up that fatty tissue and to allow insulin to enter your liver or something like that to decrease your insulin blockage. But berberine is something that's spectacular. It does a lot of things as far as for liver promotion, and it's just like an all-around type of substance that you can take, a plant substance that you can take to, I guess, minimize fatty liver disease. And I immediately went to the store and got some berberine, and then I think I fell on to one other thing, was like the milk thistle, which I'm going to start growing probably this spring. I'm going to grow a bunch of herbs, and I'm going to incorporate some milk thistle, because milk thistle also has the same properties to promote liver health and non-fatty liver disease, which is, like I said, growing rampant around the US because a lot of people are obese, and I do see a lot of overweight people. And now when I see an overweight person, I'm thinking maybe they got a fatty liver. And not to laugh, but really they might have a fatty liver. So I'm feeling sorry for the people, because I'm like, do they know they got a fatty liver? Do they know when they drink that bottle of Coke that they're adding all this? I don't know. I'm now that I'm like in depth, I see it all. Now I'm feeling sorry for people. So if you can, spread this throughout, you know, your community, throughout your loved ones. Just let them know. Go check that link on NPR, and just make sure that the liver is okay, because I want you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching, and hopefully this helps someone. But I wanted to put this video out here to save someone's life. And hopefully, you know, my liver is okay, because I have been working out pretty much consistently. And I've been taking berberine. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to mention was the, I've been taking, what is it? Milk thistle, berberine, and cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper does a lot of other things to your body as far as inflammatory, but those three plants are things that you can take along with exercise. Don't skip the exercise, because you need that heart pumping, you need those blood vessels contracting, you need that movement to actually get all three things in order. So I know it's a little hard for some people to get into the routine, but it's life or death right now as far as for Americans, because we got everything. You know, we can go to the store and go get, you know, a bottle of soda faster than we can get an apple. So there's a lot of sugar going on, and I believe sugar, you know, all this is happening for a reason. So I'm just relaying this message to the plant community. When you're giving your kids a bottle of soda, you're actually giving them a bottle or a shot of vodka. It's the same thing. Same thing. Fact check me on that. But I'm not joking. I'm just trying to prove a point. So, crazy world out there, folks. Crazy world. Hopefully this hits home. I haven't gotten my second blood test yet. Actually, I'm getting my second blood test. I haven't drunk any Manhattans, because I just want to see what the effects of Manhattans do to you. Because she was like, yeah, if you drunk that last night, it could play a factor. The doctor said, yeah, it could play a factor to what's going on. So we'll do the second blood test to see if, you know, you're okay. Just want to make sure you're okay. So I'm taking that next blood test tomorrow, and I have been, I'm updated on the fatty liver disease. So guys, watch out. If you feel like you're gaining a little weight, go get that blood test. And actually, all those pills, the berberine, the milk thistle, the exercise, all help to decrease your weight. So if you're having weight problems, you can get skinnier by doing all three of those things. And that's like a win-win. You get to be on this earth a little bit longer, and you get to look a little thinner and be more active after everything's said and done. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this hit home with somebody, and keep growing.